we get this question asked a good bit. It's like, how do I take my driving range swing to the golf course, right? Like, how do I do that? And the answer is, well, A, you don't. Wrong. Most people are trying to get confident by trying to figure out what they got to think about. I think the rangefinder is one of the worst things that's happened to junior golf development in particular. Let's roll.
Welcome back to the No Mulligans podcast, episode 282 here in the Learning Center at Franklin Bridge. 282.
Gosh, that's so many of these.
I've officially been on for, I mean, I can't say this now. I say it like I'm new, but like I came in on like episode 73.
Yeah, you're well over 200.
Well, it's like I'm old news now, so there's no need to.
Time to replace you.
Yeah, until you find the next co-host that you want to use.
That's right.
Well, man, what's going on? 2026.
Here we are.
Here. We were talking about right before we hit record that we'll pass 300 this year for sure.
That's huge. And it's nice to kick it back up. We had a real quiet season last year. You and I were both really busy with work and building businesses. And they're basically built. I'm really excited about this new membership model that I have come in that's full. So if you want on it, you're going to have to email me and just wait.
We love wait lists, man.
Man, it's that's exciting. No, it's great. We're in the middle of cracking the code right now. For those that don't know what that is, that's our off-season winter training program. We just started adding in the mental stuff this week with the Good Great Needs Work stuff from Sean Humphreys.
I feel like that's so unique to us as well.
Yeah. Yeah, you talking about cracking the code, or are you just talking about like?
Yeah, sorry, I should have elaborated. Cracking the code for sure.
Yeah,
like explain for the people, because I think this is also going to play into what we talk about today too. So like, what is cracking the code for those who are not members at Franklin Bridge?
The one of the nicknames it's gotten this year is Mr. Miyagi's golf training school. So essentially, it's like training people how to move first for 4 months. So adults for 4 months. You're here every single week in a small group setting.
You're breaking down your swing to zero and then building it right back up over the offseason.
Right, and everybody will still have their own individual unique swing profile at the end, but there are core functional motor patterns that I believe that every player needs to develop, regardless of the style you're going to swing a golf club, because you're going to be in situations that require you to do something different. And if you don't have that motor skill, it's kind of hard to go access it. The example I gave to somebody the other day is in basketball, right? If you're just right-handed, you just dribble right-handed, and you might have some ball handling abilities. But like if you can't go left, you meet a good defensive player, he's not going to let you go right, you're stuck, right? You're trapped. So,
True.
Everybody wants to be consistent, which as much as I hate that word, they really want control, and we'll talk about that in depth a little bit today, but I don't like that because it's not actually what you need. You don't need to be consistent. You need the ability to maneuver in and out of where you're trying to be. So it's a lot of fun. There's always, I'd say about 10%. So this year is about 3 to 4 people that are they don't quite come along fast enough. It's usually mentally. They're not quite, this is really hard. Like you can kind of hear the low confidence kind of pull at it a little bit. And I just don't think I can do that. And like the language is that way, like their whole perception of themselves, and the thing you're asking them to do is, well, I don't know, I can do this. So right now we're starting to move them out of core motor skills for 2 months. Now we're moving into this plus this movement produces this ball flight. So they start to be able to manipulate the golf ball a little better. But yeah, it's the full game with the exception of on the golf course, and then after that is a on-course training component that we have. So now we've kind of got this nice cyclical pattern throughout the year that you can kind of come in and come out of whenever you want. But it's a lot of fun. Like adults typically don't like start at new at something like this.
True.
You know, I just want to get a swing tip. I'm like, Bob Rotel in the book, Your Golf of Your Dreams, talks about like if you want to play the golf of your dreams, you're gonna have to go and get some work in. Like, you're gonna have to change something, and you're probably not gonna do it on your own.
One thing to talk about, like the changing, and that even feeds into our topic for today, is you only let them have a certain amount of clubs during the off season. Talk a little bit about that.
Yeah. So every year we surprise them with like a unique challenge, if you will. And the last 2 seasons we've restricted them to only have 5 clubs.
What would your 5 clubs be?
Ooh.
'Cause I actually thought about this the other day because we played on Monday, and one of your students was in it, and he was trying to ask you for a club back, or like, can you give me a club back?
Yeah, I was like, no, you ain't getting one back. They can earn them back, which is cool. I would go.
I've got mine right now,
Okay, go. You,
All right.
you go yours first.
and I
Well,
want
five
to
clubs.
know your thoughts.
You have
on
to
the
have a
back
putter,
end.
so the
Yeah,
other
yeah.
4 are you only get to pick 4.
All right, so I need your thoughts at the end of this. I'm picking, putter, obviously, but then going from the top down: driver, 4-iron, 8-iron, 54.
That's a good spread. That's a
Yeah.
really good spread.
Yeah,
And you're picking clubs you know how to hit.
true.
I was gonna say driver. I'm between 6 and 7-iron. I might go 7-iron pitching wedge, sand wedge, which is a different blend.
It's also cool, like, stacking our games up against each other because we played 18 on Monday,
Yeah.
and just seeing how our games. I haven't seen you play in
Right,
a while,
right.
So just seeing how our games overlap was fun.
Yeah, and I can stretch a pitching wedge when I need to.
That's like me with an 8-iron.
Yeah, and I'm really good in the bottom end of my set, so I'm just gonna driver and then something down there. And if I'm in between a pitch and a 7-iron, I just open the face 7-iron, hit a cut. So,
True.
and if I'm between a driver and a 7-iron, just lay up the 7-iron and make bogey. It's fine.
Yeah.
So that's kind of my. I think it would also depend on the golf course I want to play. Definitely here, those are the ones I'm taking. Like, I'm not getting anything longer than a 7-iron.
Well, and
So,
tell everybody too,
like-
like why we're only using 5 clubs during cracking the code. 'Cause I do think we're so. My take on it is we're so used to playing the course the same way that we always do.
Yeah.
Like, I hit on this hole I hit an 8-iron, or whatever. But getting out of that routine, I think, is super beneficial.
Yeah, I would say there's like 3 core reasons to only play with 5 or 6 clubs. The first one is less decisions. So a lot of times, having a rangefinder and shooting the exact number and like, okay, that's my 8-iron, or I'm between clubs, I don't know what to pick. And so there's more indecision of like, so when you only have 5, like for the most part, you're going to know exactly which one you have to hit. And then it becomes a game of being creative. So that's number 2. So one is, what did I say the first one was? The first one is less decisions.
Less decisions,
right?
yeah,
Less
yep.
decisions to make, right? The second one is forces you to be creative and try to hit shots that you begin to have to try to apply the things you're learning. Like, we're learning this wrist hinge isolated movement. It's like, well, that hooks it. All right, well, what about that would make it fade if I need to hit a different shot? So it forces them to begin to try to apply some of the things that they've learned in a different setting. And then I think the last one is most people play point and shoot golf. And I hate point shooting golf. Like I've said, this is a long time ago. So 3 years ago, I said, I think the rangefinder is one of the worst things that has happened to junior golf development in particular.
Yeah.
Because we don't think critically about like, okay, I'm about this far. It looks like it's about this far. It feels like this. It would be better for me to be here than there. Like, the critical thinking and feeling and sensing things get quickly removed when it's such a data-driven, numbers-driven decision, and you just grab the club. You don't think enough about the other things. So those are the 3 points. That's the reason why you take 5 or 6 clubs.
Yeah, you were talking about point and shoot golf, and that reminds me to a conversation we had on 7 the other day when we were talking about some of the older guys who are come out here and play, and it's like, well, this is a really hard hole from them because they don't have enough stopping power for the height that they've got to produce, but they also can't hit it super far.
Right.
And I was thinking about that when it relates to CTC as well. I feel like when you take your bag down to 5 or 6 clubs, it forces you to play a game that you're not used to, and it forces you to understand your game more. Where it's like, I don't have the height to stop it here, so what do I got to do? Looks like either got to lay up or stretch something or do something else, and I think that goes against point and shoot golf and more creativity based.
Yeah, and it's funny when you don't have as many resources, you get more creative. So sometimes I go and consult for a university somewhere, and somebody has a question about something. I don't have any of my tech. I don't have any of my tech. A phone's going to be too small. I need to do it on the fly quick. What do? Right? You've got to have some other tool. And so lack of resources sometimes drives creativity.
I think it's
And
also
I think that's
better.
good.
Oh, sorry. I think it's also better for confidence too, because when you have to make a shot with a less than ideal club, like we were playing with somebody on Monday who was going through all of this, and he's like, "Well, everybody, brace yourself. I gotta, hit this wipey cut 7," where it's just like I don't know. Once you learn to do it a few times, I feel like you feel more confident in your decision making and making the swing with the right club.
Yeah, I think it forces you to do something different. Like that's fundamentally the thing is you can't just get in there and just swing anymore. Like you will be drastically between clubs. Like sure, if I choose 7-iron and I've got a 230-yard shot, I'm not hitting driver off the ground. Like that's not going to happen from 230. So now what? Right? So now the whole world changes. And instead of just you're not going to freeze. You can't freeze because you have to hit the shot and move on. So you have to think far more critically about what you're doing. And I just think people are too much in a habit of we grab the club. We have our fancy app on our phone from Arcos to 18 birdies to Op 36. You have all the different things, game, golf, the whole deal. Well, how about we just go out there and play golf? Right? Like, let's play the game, and the game is far more than a set of numbers, and this is how I'm supposed to swing a golf club.
Which actually brings us to what we want to talk about today, which is the aspect of changing and changing in your golf swing.
Yeah, it's the do or do not, there is no try.
Right, but specifically to in-round adjustments. As well.
Yeah, we get this question asked a good bit. It's like, how do I take my driving range swing to the golf course? Right? Like, how do I do that? And the answer is, well, A, you don't.
Either they ask or they're like, well, I was hitting it so well on the range before I played.
Right.
Inadvertently,
they're asking that question. Like, well, how do I take my range swing to the golf course? I can't take it to the golf course. Well, yeah, you're not supposed to. Right? Like, it's not even close to the same thing.
Yeah.
Like, so what do you do? And it's also why we get on the golf course with our students probably more than most places, because you've got to make that certain movement happen. I'll give you a example. So as much as I hate examples, they can be helpful to get the listener to try to engage with their own similarities. So I had a gentleman in here today. His swinging slightly over the top, but not much. Striking the ball solidly, ball first contact. Now the movement that we were moving him to was a little bit flatter golf swing, right? So a little more into out, more towards first base. All the things that you guys hear and have seen, and that comes with it the potential to hit the ball a little heavy. So I was talking with him about that. I said, when you're out there on the golf course, this new movement, if you were to go out this afternoon, wet, dormant Bermuda, if you happen to have an 8-iron in from 150 yards and that wet, dormant Bermuda is laying towards you, you are more likely to hit that shot poorly with the new movement because it's fresh. So what do you do? So that's just one small example of that golf swing now has a chance to hit that type of shot. So what do you do? And so that can sound complicated. Like, you got to do this on every shot. Yeah. Like, if you want to play the game at the highest possible level that you are capable of playing, you have to have a very good understanding of what you're capable of doing, both good and bad, new movement and old movement, and in between, and the situation that's in front of you. And I still think people see hard shots as easy and easy shots as hard. I think strategically you could boil it all down to that. And I mean, we've seen that. It's the guys we were playing with, they're nervous about a certain shot. I'm like, that one's easy. You're like, why did I hit that one so bad? It's like, because it's hard. It's like, that's a hard shot. Well, it doesn't seem that hard. Yes, I understand that. So that's half the battle, is first getting people to recognize the situation. So then you have to do something. So what do you do? I would pose it to you of it's hard to give a generic answer, but when things aren't going the way you want on the golf course, where do you go as an amateur player?
I think I might be slightly. Listen, I'm not a pro by any means, but I also learned so much through osmosis from you, where I feel like I don't necessarily have the brain of like a true, weekender.
Yeah, since you've done 270 something,
Yeah,
200 and whatever podcast.
But I mean, my whole thought when I'm not playing the best is, all right, Jack, like one shot didn't get you into this, and one shot won't get you out of this.
Ooh. Tag clip, throw that on there. That's great.
But I mean, I think it's true, man. I mean, like I think that's where my brain goes. It's like, well, what do I need to do on this shot right here to feel good about where I'm hitting from next? And I think about specifically, let's just talk about like 17 out here on the bridge. It's like a long par 5. You're very rarely going to be going for it in 2. You whale a driver outright like we did,
like you and I both
over
did.
there.
Yeah.
And it's just like, it's one of those holes where you're just like, well, as long as this is hittable, I can just put this into a spot where I can get it up on the green and have a putt for birdie.
Yeah. And even then, like I had a similar thought to that, but I was going to run it differently. It's like, all right, what people will try to do is it's still a par 5. I'm still going to try and press for birdie. And so instead of just laying to a reasonable spot, they'll lay into a spot that's maybe a little more risky. Or then they get to that one. Okay, now I got to hit it close. Like I could have been up closer to the green, but now I'm further back. Now I got to hit it close again. And so that perpetual of like I got to make up for the fact that I didn't have a chance to go for it or get close in 2. And so that trying to play catch up instead of how did you say it?
One shot didn't get me into this, and one shot's not getting me out of this.
Right. And so, like, let's start creating a pattern of good behaviors that will help me find my way out. Well, you got to see me do that a little bit when we were playing, because I'm playing a lot more. So, like, I have the cognitive knowledge on how to do these things, and there's the practical application piece that takes a little bit of time. But it's like, I'm slowly maneuvering my way out of it. Hadn't really gotten it going, and then got it going. It took me all the way to like 13, midway through 13, to like start figuring out how to get it going. But that maneuvering is important, but you have to wait. Like you're trying to make up for the double on the last hole in the next 2 holes. That's how you make more doubles and more bogeys.
Well, and this is the conversation that we had on 15, right? When we were talking about that student that was texting you about confidence and like what confidence is. And we were having this big
Nate, shout out to you. This one's for you, bub.
Oh yeah, we were having this like couple, 3-hole discussion on confidence and like what makes people different. And I think you hit the nail on the head is like it's the ability to change. It's like what makes these guys who are at the top of their game so freaking good. It's because they are willing to sacrifice their ego to say, man, it's just not working today. What do I need to do to hit this next shot well? And it's like they're willing to throw away their entire game to just figure out what's going to work that day. And I feel like that's the difference. And so many people are like holding on to like their identity in golf. And then like when it goes bad, they're like, oh my God, I'm just the worst person ever. They just start spiraling. Right. And you just have to have the ability to, I think, say what I just said. It's just like, well, one shot didn't get me into this and one shot's not getting me out.
Yeah, and there's the change component's really tricky. It's like I was asking him back and forth in this long text dialogue. Like I'm not giving him the answer. Like it's what he wants. It's what most people want. Well, just give me the answer, Scott. I'm not going to just give you the answer because I need you to understand this. And it's important to me for you to understand what's actually happening so that you can equip yourself to be able to change. He's like, what do you mean change? Well, let me think about that for a little bit. I was like, nope, you got it wrong. Most people are trying to get confident by trying to figure out what they got to think about. And if you want to be confident, you have to do something different, period. Fundamentally, that's what's different. Like, why does a tour player not freak out when they hit a bad shot? Because they know on the next one, I'm going to do something different. I will not repeat the same thing.
And they've done it so many times that they feel confident in doing that.
Correct. Now, there's a caveat to this, and that is people think like, oh, that's why one swing thought works one week and then it doesn't work the next week. And so I'm going to try another swing thought. No, you've got to stay in your same lane.
That's desperation, what you just described.
Right.
Yeah,
I got to
what do I got to do to get this back on track?
No, settle in right here. Like I've listed this week when I was playing, I've got a list of 6 things. If people can go 6 things, I'm not thinking about all 6 things when I'm playing, but the answer's going to be in one of those buckets, and the buckets are kind of tied to each other. And so I'm only looking there. I am not looking anywhere else. Because you can't. Because the moment you start trying to change things all the time, I'm going to try this thing. I'm going to try this other thing from my buddy over here. I'm going to try this thing that I saw from, this famous YouTube teacher over here. And then I'm going to try this thing I've kind of felt on my own the other day. And then my swing coach is going to tell me to do that. Like, no. That's not what we mean by changing on the fly and doing whatever I need to do to make the ball do something different.
Which just goes back to like my thought of being, you have to have an identity of who you are as a golfer. And I don't care how good or bad you are. Even if you are a 20 handicap, you have to know that you are that 20 handicap and ask yourself, what do I do well and what are my limitations? And I feel like when you're honest with yourself about what those things are, you start to realize, I can just do this to get where I need to go. I can just do that. I can't really do this, so let's not try it. The worst thing is like when somebody's stuck under a tree or an amateur is stuck under a tree and they're like, I can get this thing out. They pull a wedge, hit it full, and it just goes soaring like right up into the trees. Yeah. And it's just like, listen, like one shot can't get you out of this. Like just punch it out into the fairway and figure out your next move. I'm on a little bit of a tear right now, but it's just because I do feel so passionate about this. Because golf opened up for me when I realized I don't need to learn how to get my motion better. I just need to have better awareness of who I am as a golfer.
Right. And you know where those parameters are at this point. Like we don't do much with your motion now. Now you're more inquisitive.
Yeah.
But you've got to build a base. Like if your base sucks, you can't just swing your own swing.
Yeah.
Right? Like I'm pushing back on you a little bit because your current awareness and knowledge of your golf game is fairly high. Most people that are listening to this aren't in that category.
Correct.
And so I
want to stress is that it took me years to get there.
Correct. Yeah. And so that's are you willing to go through the work to actually get better, or are you just going to take the next swing tip and hope that it works?
Yeah.
And fundamentally, you're going to have to do something different. It's going to take you a lot longer than you want, and it's going to be way more uncomfortable than you would ever imagine it feel like.
Mm-hmm.
And it's funny. I've been posting a swing a day pretty much every day on my Instagram, and I have
what?
At S Hassey Golf. That's 2 S's, 2 E's.
That's right.
And one of our students in CTC said, gosh, I want my swing to feel that smooth. And I want it to look that smooth. And I looked at him in the face. I said, that swing you see there feels like I am trying to move the earth in terms of the amount of effort I'm using to put my body in those spots. And when I do it, I hit it really well, but it does not feel what you are perceiving it to feel. And I think people look at that like, I want my golf swing to feel like that. Newsflash, it's not going to feel the way in smoothness that it looks from a good player. Those good players are working very hard to make it do that. Watch guys on I just happened to be sitting in the pub the other day, and they had golf on TV. I can't even remember who it was, teeing off, and they made this exaggerated backswing movement as their waggle, and then they hit it, and the swing doesn't look anything like that.
Yeah.
And so you're going, these are the best players in the world. That little exaggerated movement you see them do isn't just like a waggle to make them loose. That is fundamentally exactly what it feels like to them, even though it doesn't look like that at all.
Yeah.
So if you're not willing to really exaggerate the feel, and this week and really the next month for CTC is really pushing people that far. Well, that just feels so stiff. I'm like, yeah, when you first do something, it's definitely going to feel that stiff. You're trying to physically move your body into a new space with the club pulling away from you with almost twice your body weight of force. Like, what?
And then you ask why we don't need a glove,
Yeah, no. God, dude, that got so much traction. He's eating chips. Got you to click on it, didn't I? So that's the whole point of that. It's like the joke's actually on, like, you can't swing. I'm like, you're commenting, so I win. Like, right?
Yeah.
Like that's the whole point. And I don't play with a glove, and it's fine. Like, so anywho, that's an aside. But like confident people change. Like that's fundamentally what it is. If I have any readers that are out there, I know everybody's used to listening to podcasts and such and audiobooks, but
can we dive into that real quick? Because you said like confident people change, but we also just said that in order to change, you have to be relatively confident. So like it feels, I can see
it feels backwards.
Yeah, I can feel somebody commenting, being like, "Well, like you're just going in a circle of like what that means." And I just think we need to dive into that deeper.
So follow the logic, right? So I asked to give you the text thread. I'm not going to read it to you because it's sitting on one of these phones right now. The text thread essentially was this, like, why can't I, like, I want to be confident. Why can't I play like this guy? He sends me a YouTube video of some dude and he's posting. It's like birdie. I was like, he doesn't play like that every single time he plays. 2, it's on social media, man. Like, stop paying attention to that stuff.
Yeah.
Because it's creating a perception that's not real. Like, the average, like, Tiger Woods.
Or even if it is real, so what?
Right. Like, the best players in the world, the average tour player, like, scoring average is like 70 point something. Like, it's not 66. Like, it's just not. Mm-hmm. Like, that's not their average. And Scotty still hasn't beat Tiger's scoring average at the lowest. He's also, like 3rd or 4th.
No, newsflash.
For season.
He's 6th. And you know who has the other 5?
It's
all Tiger.
Yeah.
From different years.
Like, that's insane. So, there's that going on. But I responded back to him. I said, what do those people do differently? So, like, what does a confident person look like to you? Who's the most confident person you know? And he gives me the typical answers, right? It's like, well, they look confident. Okay. Define that. Like, look confident then. Well, I don't know how to look confident because I don't feel confident. I was like, I don't care. The research actually shows if you change your body language, it'll change your attitude about yourself. Mm-hmm. So, like, if you sit like this for long enough, your mood will change, even if you're the happiest person on the planet, because you're closed off and reserved. But if you sit like we're sitting right now, very open, your confidence levels go up.
Yeah.
And so, action is the only thing that's required. And so I'm like, okay, what do they do? Who are the most confident people? You list me 3. Say, great. What do they do? What do you mean? What do they do? They do something differently than you. You look nervous and scared all the time. So you said you look confident. Like, what does looking scared look like? You sit there and make the same swing 7 times in a row. They see the one swing and it changes on the next rep.
Dude, I was just
no matter what it feels like.
You're right.
It will feel weird, and they're okay feeling weird.
Yeah.
Because the change, and then when you change, you become confident. Because, like, oh, look, I did something different.
We had a funny video that we shot. Oh, it's funny now thinking in retrospect. In the moment, it was agonizing when you were trying to fix my driver swing. And everything was just flailing out right. And since then, I've worked a lot on it, and it's in a pretty good spot right now. But one thing that I'm noticing, and again, going back to building awareness in your own game, is that I can't swing that club scared. And when I swing that club scared, everything shoots off right. But when I go in with full confidence that I'm going to do it well, full commitment. I'm
going to do this way.
And like you see my numbers, like I'm swinging 120 plus club head speed. Like this thing's going.
It's moving.
And it's like if I don't, like the ball only has one option with the swing that I've currently got. It's going to go right because I can't close the club face in time. So It's like, okay, be more confident, swing all out, and I'm just shooting bullets.
Right.
And they're all going far. So it's just like, the only reason I bring that up.
You're doing something different. That's the
correct.
thing. You're not letting it stay to the right.
Right. I don't bring that up to flex or anything, but what I am saying is that I went through agonizing months of not being able to put that where I want it.
Right.
And then figuring out, like going through, like talking to myself, swinging all these swings. I was in here when you were doing a CTC, and I was swinging drivers for 40 minutes.
Right.
At full commitment.
Right. Well, and that's I remember us kind of in that journey, like a few weeks after that. I said, it was even surprising to you, because you're a high confident individual and you change very quick. You were very resistant
So resistant.
to me, to even yourself of wanting to change it is like
yeah.
there's a little bit of that little victim that likes to show up like I'm trying, like why is it not changing?
It's a
like,
vulnerable spot to be in.
Yeah,
for
like
sure.
well, why is it not changing? That's like because you're not changing it. Well, I can't find a feel. Like go do something different. And so that's the component that to me is like tremendous for people is I'm kind of getting myself caught in two swing thoughts, is like, you have to change. And there's two things from Hank. The first one is, he used to say this. He said, people would rather accept the fact that it's something that they don't know than it's something that they can't do.
Bingo. And that goes into what I was going to say as far as like, the people who are worried that they can't figure it out on the golf course, or people that can't figure it out on the golf course, are people who haven't practiced enough to know what they have to do on the golf course to get it to do the right thing.
And they're probably not changing it on the driving range. They look the same, and they just happen to hit it a little better.
Yeah.
And so I'll give you an example. So the highest viewed and liked video that I've posted on combined on TikTok and on Instagram.
Was it recent?
Is at 200,000 views.
Okay, yeah.
It's got over 1,000 likes on it. And it's the one where I talk about the elbow has to lead here, the hands roll this way, and then it carries it through with your body.
Holy crap, dude. Last time I checked on that video, it was at like 50K.
Yeah, it's like between the two platforms, it's got like 200,000.
Oh, that's nuts.
So you look at that and you go like, why is that so popular? And it came up yesterday in CTC. I said, you know why that's so popular? Is because it's something that they haven't heard. Oh my gosh. It's like, that's not the answer. The answer is you aren't changing. That's why your golf game is still the same. And it's not your golf instructor's fault. It's not your buddy's fault. It's not your club's fault. It's the fact that you won't do something different. Well, I'm trying. It's not about, you can't try. Try is a non-existent thing. You either do or you don't. Man, that bag of clubs got really angry. Just fell down.
It did, yeah.
So like you have to change. Trying does not exist. You either change or you do not. And confident people, you become confident when you change. And that's what I was going to bring up. There's a book called Rejection Proof, where a gentleman tries to go out and intentionally get rejected, do things that makes him get rejected.
Anybody who's done sales knows that life. Yeah.
And so getting you over the mentality of losing and suffering, and the research that exists out there, you can just go, you can ask ChatGPT now, but is the thing to get over the things you're afraid of is to actually do the things that you're afraid of doing. It's not about trying to come up, get myself mentally ready.
Yeah.
No, go do the thing.
Yeah.
And it's hard and it's scary. It's, well, okay, I'm going to take on professional golf. All right, you want to play professionally? You've had a good college career. You've won a couple times. You're ready to go try this. Go. Well, you going to sit there and think about it for 6 more months? Because that's not going to do it. And guess what? It's probably going to suck. It's just going to. It's going to be bad. It's going to be hard. It's going to be difficult. You're going to run out of money. You're going to be exhausted and tired of practicing. And you're going to have to work a job at the same time. And you're going to have to go find money. And what are you going to do? I'm not going to sleep. And you're going to figure out how to, all of those things. Change is what creates confidence.
Which makes you realize when you're watching these guys play on Sundays, they've been through that grind to know themselves enough to do well on that stage. Right. Versus I think a lot of people think okay, there's a hot topic between me and two of my best friends. One of them is he's sub scratch. He's really freaking good. And our other buddy, he's a 20 handicap. And so he's dude, why don't you go out and try it on tour? Why don't you if I gave you if I gave you unlimited resources, why don't you go out there and do it on tour? And it's just we're both sitting at him being dude, it's just not that simple. It's just not that simple. You have to, those guys who are playing on Sundays, who are playing on the weekends, are guys who are not only the most skilled players in the world, but have the strongest headspaces that probably anybody's ever seen. It's pretty crazy to be that isolated on a golf course, doing everything yourself at the highest level against the best in the world. That's unheard of when it comes to mental rigidity and just knowing who you are.
And
as
you
a golfer.
might have one team member, and he's your caddy. Like,
oh yeah,
that's like all you got. You don't have a team on the sideline to pull you together. You don't have your family and your coaches after your ski run, since we're coming up into Winter Olympics,
which makes it crazy when you think about like Tiger. Just the famous picture of him on Augusta at I believe it's 17. 17's like the narrow straight hole where you're shooting
par
shooting
four.
straight through. Par 4 straight through, and you just see the sea of people on either side, and the fairway is like this narrow.
Yeah.
And you're just like, how does this guy, number one, not shank it and hit somebody, but number two, just have the mental strength to know that all of these people are watching me, and I have to hit a fairway that's probably like 40 yards wide.
It's probably narrow.
It's probably narrow
25. Yeah. It's like choosing to do the thing, no matter how uncomfortable it is to do the thing. That's what. Well, I'm not confident enough to do that.
It's like,
yes, you are.
Well,
yeah, you are. If your life literally depended on you doing that thing, didn't matter where the ball went, because that's what you have to let go of.
Okay, wait, hold on. Let's talk about this, because we talked about this the other day, and you're like, because you talked about this content idea that you had to go out and get people to do the things that they said they're not able to do.
Yeah.
But I've got a caveat to this, or my one contention with it is, what if they haven't practiced enough to even hit the shot that they want to hit?
They get to pick the shot.
Oh, okay. I see what you're saying.
You literally get to pick whatever shot you want.
Whatever shot you want.
Because guess what? The game of golf doesn't say you have to hit a 6-iron here.
Yeah.
I'm not going to hit my 6-iron. Don't hit it.
So take us through the game. Like, you would go out on the driving range.
So we go to the driving range.
Yep.
So if you do this, video it and send it to me, and I'll give you a free lesson for doing it. So basically cover your losses. Walk up to somebody on the driving range and tell them, I'm going to execute this shot in front of you. You name the shot. It has to be struck. However you decide that that's going to be struck.
Yeah.
And if you don't, you got to give them $20.
Mm-hmm.
If you do, you don't get anything other than the fact that you did it. Right? You get one shot. And you don't get unlimited time. You can't sit there and make 12 practice swings.
Mm-hmm.
Like, full routine, just go and execute it correctly. And you could do that with video. You could do that with ball flight. I don't really care. Like, go and do the thing. Well, Scott, I'm not confident enough to do that. Okay. Well, then we got a problem. Why wouldn't you be confident enough to do that? Well, I might get ridiculed. Well, guess what? You're the same person that talks to me about, like, I just don't want to play. I don't want to play with other people because I'm going to play bad. Or I don't want to play with so-and-so. I don't want to play in front of my parents. I don't want to play. I don't want to. Like, what are my buddies going to think? I got 70-year-old men in my winter class. They're like, all my buddies are afraid. Like, they're making fun of me for how bad I'm playing. I'm like, dude, you're in your 70s. Get over it, man. They still like you. Like, they're giving you a hard time because you have the courage to go do the thing that they're afraid of doing.
Right, exactly.
And if you keep listening to them,
yep,
you're going to end up right back where you went, oh, this was all a waste of money. It's no, because you didn't change, right? So, like, literally, like, it's normal human behavior to be that way. Mm-hmm. And so go out and do that thing. Wow, what if I lose it's $20? Like, go log into Uber, create an Uber account, and go do 2 rides, and you'll be fine. Like, make your $20 back at 10 o'clock at night, right? Like, go do the thing that it is that makes you scared. That's the only way to become confident, is to do something that terrifies you to do.
You know what? That reminds me. Hannah and I just went to the movies, and we saw Marty Supreme, the new movie Marty Supreme.
I have no idea.
And I'll tell you, it's about this action. It's loosely based on a true story of this table tennis hustler back in the 50s.
Table tennis,
like literal ping pong.
Things that I don't think about.
But it's just the whole movie is essentially the pursuit of this guy, Marty Supreme, to go out and play the best players in the world, and how he's willing to do absolutely anything to show the world that he's the best. And I mean, he's just like, running from the cops and, like, hustling people for money.
We don't recommend doing either of these behaviors.
But, like, essentially the point of the story is, like, how far are you willing to go to achieve your dreams? And I think that's what we're talking about here, just in the concentrated space of golf. It's like, how far are you willing to go to play your best golf?
Right. How uncomfortable are you willing to get?
And I think that's the key. It's like, how uncomfortable? What are you willing to do that's different? I feel like so many people, and I'm one of these people included, and I've got to overcome it, is like get so safe They play everything like just so safe. You got to be willing to just take a step out of your comfort zone and figure out what it is that you need to do in order to become better.
Yeah, and changing a movement, it's like if you're not willing to do the work that's going to be required, don't do it.
Right.
I'm not telling you, y'all got to go out there and try and do this.
Or
It's
don't
like,
half it, you know?
right. It's like, well, you can't have people have the same golf swing. Sure you can. You got to be willing to do the work to make them look the same. Go like there's a wonderful old. I need to show this to you separately from this, but and there's I can't remember his name off the top of my head. Former golf instructor way back in the day. Shoot, I'm losing the train of thought. But anywho, he Mac O'Grady, and he's got these 2 or 3 other teachers that present with him, and they show all the different positions. That's where we get P1, P2, P3 from, is from Mac. And he's demonstrating this class, and it's an old video, and there's a face on view where like you can barely see each of the 3 of them. And let's all go to P4. Like they move at the exact same time in the exact same way, 3 very different body types. And you're going, that is possible. And it may even be preferable for most people to try to hit those spots. And it was phenomenal to see what it was doing. And so like you can all make the same movement. It's just people are afraid to do that. That's the hard part. It's like, well, I don't know if I could do it.
Which begs the question, the position is not the limitation. It's what's between your ears.
Yeah, that's exactly it. Like, I can't get there. I'm like, yeah, I mean, there may be some major limitations in certain positions, but like these golf swings, when they all swung together, it looked like one golf swing that was just like mirror imaged, like out of focus 3 times.
Which brings me to the question, we talk about the range rats too on the driving range.
Yeah.
And they wonder why they can't put it into play on the course. It's like, well, the motion looks awesome when you're on the range, but once you take it to the course, lies, pressure, that, it's on the edge of your range, short of your range, whatever. That's why they can't play.
Well, and they're not paying attention to what they need to pay attention to.
Right.
And this was us playing with Chris, and I'm sitting there going, I haven't seen him hit any of these snap hooks in his lessons.
Oh, right? I didn't have that context, but yeah, that makes sense.
He was making a totally different movement. on the golf course.
Yeah.
This is valuable in here, but like if you're a golf instructor or if your instructor is not taking you out to play, they're not getting the full story, and they need to go out there with you. They need to know the full story.
Yeah.
They need to see the full story.
Yeah.
They need to hear the whole story. They need to see what's actually happening. And it's like, but you're working on my swing on the golf course. Yeah, because you got to change. Like if you keep doing the same things, keep going to the right, and you can just aim to the left, but you can't do that forever.
And you also saw him, like as soon as you gave him the thing that he needed to do to fix it, you saw him fix it on the next hole, and then a hole later he was back to doing the old thing.
And it's like, okay. And then he went back and changed it for 2 or 3 holes, and then it slipped again.
Yeah.
But he was slowly beginning to regain control of his movement.
Mm-hmm.
And I remember him tell us, he's like, I hate that it was that simple. I was like, yeah. And then when it's just hard to do, like it is not that you can't do it, it's that you're choosing not to.
And that's why we say, play over practice mostly. Yeah. Obviously caveats there, but I mean, that's another reason why we say old man par is hard to beat, right? You go out there and you're playing with somebody who's maybe, 20 years your senior, has not a great swing, but he's out there and playing, and you're like, okay, we might play slow, but this will be fun. And then you finish up on 18 and he's dusted you by 10 strokes.
There are so many little 8 to 12 handicappers, guys have been playing for forever. Those motions, I'm glad you're not walking in here to take a golf lesson, because I have no idea where I would start.
But their mental game is so good.
Right. This is just what I do. I'd like to get a little better at this thing. And so then you basically, how do I keep their core movement? Because they're not really willing to do the really big work. It's going to be massive overhauls. But if you want to get good, find somebody and do what they ask them to do. Well, Scott, I can't afford to go see you. You don't have to go see me. I got 3 other people on my staff that can teach you all the way down to $60. It's like you can fork out $60.
Dude,
and then it doesn't matter who on my team you're going to see. It doesn't matter the level of experience. Do what they ask you to do.
Mm-hmm.
Video it. Check to see if you're actually doing it when you're on your own. And only send them video when you've done it what you think is all the way correct. And then when they tell you it's not, then do it even more.
Another reason why I think that I would argue, and I mean, if this affects your, lesson book, then I'm sorry, but like, I don't necessarily think that a golf lesson is the best use of your money, case dependent.
Yeah, I think,
and that's why I love that like Elijah and Micah have been doing a lot of these like on course stuff.
Yeah,
all these playing lessons.
Well, it's why I'm going to a membership model,
and why
this
you're
year.
playing more. Yeah,
and
exactly.
I'm just you buying a package of lessons, taking 2, not really doing anything, and then taking 2 at the end is not an effective use of your dollars.
Mm-hmm.
And like, you need to be on a regular supervision. That's why the best players in the world have regular supervision. It's not like they see their swing coach once and then wait 4 months and then see him 4 weeks in a row and then don't see him again for 2 months. They're not sporadic like that.
But you nailed it when you said supervision.
Yeah.
It's not position coaching. It's not
are you there?
It's not overhauling a swing from tournament to tournament if you're a pro. It's supervision, and I think one of the biggest cases of this has been Ricky recently, right? He started going back to Butch. And then everything kind of fell in line a little bit, yeah.
And there's a difference between swing thoughts and play thoughts. That's a topic for another day because I've got a lesson here in 10 minutes. But, like, you can work on multiple components of your movement pattern, and you should. That's Hank's actually book on how to win the 3 games of golf. There's things you actually do away from the golf course. Rotella speaks very highly of Hank in his book, in that same book, The Golf of Your Dreams. But, like, that's training your motor skill. Like, people don't really know how to move. I'm teeing up all these topics that are coming up.
Yeah.
We've got a long feed that I'm very passionate about right now that we're going to be funneling out here over the next couple of months. But is, like, you're going to have to, like, actually do some work. And it's not going to be fun. And it can be fun. Like, if you embrace the fact that, hey, I'm learning something new, this is awkward, and I've learned that awkward and uncomfortable is actually fun because it means I'm getting better. It means I'm changing, and changing means I'm confident, and I'm not afraid to change. And so when I'm on the 17th hole and I've thrown 3 right and there's water right or out of bounds right, I know I'm going to change right now, and I'm going to change right into the thing we've been working on, and it's going to work. Why? Because I'm going to do it. Not because I'm going to think it. I'm not going to think harder about it. I'm just going to do it. And when I do it, then the confidence comes. The confidence comes on the back end.
Right. And I was going to say, too, it's like selling out to the movement that you have to make. And I just pictured this golf hole where you have water on your right, like you're talking about, and like trees on your left. And I'm just telling myself, if I snap hook it into these trees, that's good. Like I changed it,
Right.
It's like, but you need to have confidence, and just, even though you didn't get it right, you made the right motion and it worked. I think that, like, a lot of people would see that as a failure if you don't hit the fairway in that moment.
Right.
But if you've been blasting them out right and you hooked it left into the trees, like, bravo, just find the middle next hole.
Right. And to be playful is better than to be perfect.
Oh, and I feel like the driving range instills perfect. And then you get out on the course and something bad happens. You're like, I can't play golf.
It's like it. Because it's different. And every shot you face is different than the one before it.
100%.
So, yeah, that's I'm excited about what's coming, both for the podcast. You and I have kind of, like, last year was a, axe to the grindstone kind of year for both of us, and we both have a better setup for this year. The fact that
2025 was brutal, man.
The fact that we can shoot this podcast midday on a Friday says a lot about both of our ability to reset ourselves up for success this year. And
it's very true.
To kind of close it out, last night, I'm trying to refill one of our water jugs for
the dispenser
in the office, and the water's coming out slow out of the hose, and I'm like, it sounds like it's coming out way faster than I went. That's a problem. So I turned the water off. I come in here, the bathroom has water all in it. The AV room has water like a 1/4 inch deep, and like I'm going, no. Busted pipe from the cold weather. The ups and downs of the cold weather, right? And so that'll have to get dealt with. I just won't run that. We'll be okay. But like, and I'm sitting there and I'm going, all right, I gotta clean all this up. But in that moment, I'm sitting there, I'm going, Elijah's in here running a ladies class. This is at 6:30 last night in the dark. I got somebody working on our lock that's a student of ours to put a different type of lock code on there.
Mm-hmm.
I've got Erica's got 2 ladies helping her develop and build up this junior fundraiser tournament that's coming in April. So please sign up for that April 13th. Help us support growing junior golf, helping kids who can't afford it. And families get in it who go, we'd love to play golf. We can't afford golf. It's too expensive. That's why we're doing this fundraiser. They need your help. And we believe that golf is a wonderful resource for them to develop who they are as people. But they can't afford it. They can because we can help. So anywho, that's a quick aside. But that's happening. Those ladies have volunteered their time. They just want to help. And they're like, we'll meet twice a week. We can get this thing ready. We're going to blow this thing up. I'm like, this thing's going to go through the roof. And they're volunteering. And then I got these 3 juniors in here trying to move old inventory product on eBay, a project I hate. And they're like, this is so exciting. We do it for free if you let, we don't need to clock in. I was like, guys, clock in. They are killing it and loving it. I'm going, this is a really special place. And it's a really awesome time to be here. And we've got a lot of people helping us out that are students, that are employees that make the Bridge what it is and make the Performance Institute what it is. And that makes us different. That makes us special. Love us, hate us for that. I think it's really special that we have that. And to see all that in that one moment, in the moment of me just going, and I happen to live close so I can go get towels and clean it up. All of those things in one moment is there's so much to be thankful for to be here.
I was going to say
in a moment
exactly
of
that,
this feels terrible. It's it's just water on the floor. Just clean it up. It's just a busted pipe. We'll just get it fixed. It's not.
Well, and ending this podcast the way we started it, man, just being around for 200 plus episodes now, just remembering that we used to do it literally on the back porch of Franklin Bridge when it was cold and we'd put our sweatshirts on. It's just and then we had the small studio and then all that. We've podcasted all around here. And this is what I was going to say specifically to the busted pipe situation and having everybody in here doing that. It's how blessed are we to be doing the work that we once prayed for, even though sometimes it might be hard.
Yeah. That's so good. And that's it. That's a wrap. See you on the next one. That's that's great. It's a special time here at the Bridge. If you want to come in and get to see me, I'm basically going to be, once we have everything set, I'm basically going to be full all year.
Yeah. Well, come on in here. So. We're going to do the, obviously membership model with Scott. I think we're going to do at least a play with the pod out here. We did one with the juniors up in Evansville.
Oh, yeah.
A couple months ago.
We need to put some dates on the calendar. We need to get those out there.
We need to go down to BCC to film a video down there. Big year for golf. Obviously, LC is the doors are going to open up here soon. I mean, it's we're going full out, man.
It's full send while also getting to play and practice and spend more time with my family. Last year was the year of you got to get through the gravity of the stratosphere, and you're oh, okay, there we are. We're still going at a fast clip, but a lot of the weight has been shed because of a lot of the hard work's been done. So, pretty cool place.
Well, it's been the No Mulligans pod here. As always, if you're listening to this on video, go watch it on YouTube. And if you're watching this on YouTube, share it with somebody who might want to listen on audio. We really appreciate it. If you guys wouldn't mind just leaving a comment down in the YouTube space or rating the podcast a 5-star. It really helps us get the podcast in front of people who are really trying to learn what's between their 2 ears here on the golf course. So at S. Hassey Golf right there, at J. Beard Golfs right here.
Golfs with an S?
I think it is Golfs. It's J. Beard Golfs.
Okay, somebody had one without an S on it then already. Or
unless I'm not without a S. If you type it in, you'll find me.
You'll find him. That's right.
Yeah, but we're going to be doing some short Instagram reels and stuff of us playing on the sim and stuff throughout the year as well. So stay tuned for that. We might even do the $20 bet here, in the sim. Just the 2 of us, just see what we can do.
That's fun.
I love it.
Do it. It'd be great.
All right, guys. Episode 282 in the books here inside the Learning Center. It's the No Mulligans pod. Scott and Jack. We'll see you on the next one.
Peace.